Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we have our second mod for a Completionist playthrough. It's Legacy of the Dragonborn, otherwise known as the Dragonborn Gallery. In the first episode we looked at SkyComplete, which pretty much let you tick off different milestones as you reach them. The Dragonborn Gallery takes a completely different approach and adds dozens of different new features to the game. The most important of which is a new museum in Solitude, which can be found near the Blue Palace. The gallery acts as a storage place for any and all of the lost relics you find during your adventures. And with the help of a curator you can display and utilise your entire collection as you see fit. When you first enter the gallery you're met by the curator named Orion Morellis, who's fully voice acted, which is nearly always a plus. He'll briefly explain what the museum is and how it'll play a role in your adventure. He'll also offer a quick tour, which when combined with high quality voice acting makes for a nice introduction to the mod.
This building was once called Macnerian Hall, and it was the site of a temple of Talos, built before the Grand Temple here in Solitude. This is the gallery. I call this area the Hall of Heroes. To our right is the main reception hall and staff barracks. To the left, the library, where I do most of my work. There are 3 sub-basements, all spiralling off from this main chamber, leading to...
During your tour he'll explain what he wants you to do. Your basic job is to loan any rare items you find to the museum, so they can be displayed to the inhabitants of Skyrim. At any time you can display or remove the items you collect, but keeping them on display leads to several benefits. After you're done speaking with him it'll also start a new Shattered Legacy questline, which you'll revisit much later on in your playthrough. But first let's take a look at the museum. It's broken down into 5 different areas. There's the Hall of Heroes, which is for all relics of historical and magical nature. Then there's a Hall of Lost Empires, with displays that house items of Dwemer, Falmer and the Nordic origin. Then there's the Daedric Gallery for all of your Daedric artifacts, the Gallery of Natural Science for life-size displays of Skyrim's nature, and finally there's the Hall of Oddities, where unique and interesting items can be displayed. Each of these rooms come with dozens of unique displays, which can all be filled throughout a playthrough. What we really like is that they all come with a theme that's directly related to the items you store there, so it's not just the same old boring storage areas we're used to seeing. For example, the Gallery of Natural Science lets you see life-size versions of flora, and several different habitats in a single location. On top of those 5 main halls there's a few other rooms too. The library will store every single book in Skyrim, including spell tomes, skill books and many other unique books that you stumble upon. The filler books are stored in an A to Z storage system, but the more unique ones come with their own displays. On top of that there's also the Tomb of the Dragonborn, a somewhat hidden area that lets you store items directly related to the bigger questlines of the game. So you can celebrate the ending of the quests by storing the items in fitting, cornered off display areas. And finally, to top it all off, there's a huge personal armoury with over 50 mannequins and dozens of weapon and armour racks that you can use and organise however you wish. As well as a safe house where you can live and store more personal items, as well as make use of a full crafting station. So as you can imagine, this is undoubtedly the biggest storage mod for Skyrim so far. It's essentially every single item in the game, all categorised and displayed perfectly for any hoarders or completionists out there. And luckily for us, the authors also added an auto storage system, so instead of having to find the right display cases for every item, you can just head into the workshop and it'll automatically do it for you. You can even collect them all back instantly using the hidden safe at the back of the curator's office. Despite that being impressive by itself, the features for the mod don't end there. The mod makes use of over a dozen different mods to either take assets or to integrate new artifacts for you to collect. Some of these are used for aesthetics, like the paintings resources so you can hang paintings all over the museum. Or the book covers of Skyrim mod, so the books on display look much better. Or they can even be new artifacts that were from past Elder Scrolls games. Most of these are donated through foreign sources, which is handled through the curator. Put simply, as you donate items to the museum, you'll attract more and more visitors. Some of these will only be mentioned through the curator, who will tell you that someone donated a rare item to join your collection. But other times you'll actually see visitors walking through the halls, and some of them are even voice acted. These visitors will comment on things they pass or tell you what they think of the items on display, and they might even donate some gold too. The quality dips in places, especially when compared to the curator, but it's better than nothing. On top of these new artifacts, there's also new rare cards for you to collect. Each card belongs to a deck, which when all collected together provides a passive buff for your character. It's similar to a feature seen in other games with more of a focus on collectibles, and it makes for a nice additional reward for all of the time you put into collecting everything. The questline I mentioned earlier, called Shattered Legacy, is something we don't really want to spoil too much of, but we will say that it is a continuation of the quest you started earlier, and involves your link between your character and the previous Dragonborns. Along the way you'll discover artifacts and collect a rare armour set. What makes the set unique is that it scales with the player and each piece unlocks a unique ability. On top of that, the armour can be easily customised by following a guide on the mod page, and it basically lets you pick any modded armour that you think best suits the ultra late game set. The quest itself will also take you through 4 dungeons and new world spaces, and comes with voice acted cutscenes and more. It's definitely a lot of fun and especially rewarding. So if you've yet to give this fantastic mod a go, then we definitely recommend you do. Since its release, the author has updated the mod significantly to get it to where it is today. In fact, the constant updates was one of the reasons why we delayed spotlighting it for so long. But the update process isn't too annoying, so it shouldn't be a major issue, and the extra features definitely make it worth it. So everything you need is down below, and as always be sure to leave an endorsement on any mod you enjoy, and thanks for watching.